Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a science experiment. This is going to be testing to see what kind of soil you've got in your garden. I've got a little glamorous assistant with me today. The other two are still in their cages and you'll probably hear them squeaking like crazy in a little while. But we thought it might be nice for you guys to see who's been making all the noise in the background. Didn't we, Louie? Yeah, we did. You're going to turn around and say hello? Look. Hello. Right, so for today's one, you're going to need a jam jar with a lid. Yep, jam jar. Some water, and you're going to need to take some soil to a sample from about 3 or 4 different places in your garden. That gives you a nice cross section. And we're going to pour the soil, aren't we? Going to pour the soil into the jar. Like so. I've probably put a little bit too much in there. I'm going to tip a little bit out. So we want enough to just fill the jar to about 1/3. Then we're going to fill the rest of the jar with some water. Are you sniffing to see if that's food or not? Leaving about 1 centimetre clear from the top. Like that. Oh, you can see bubbles rising up already in there. That means there's trapped air in the soil that's in the bottom. No, don't go that way. Good boy. I'm going to place the lid on tightly. Hello. We're going to do some shaking now, Louie. Are we going to do some shivery shaking? Now you leave the gap in the top because you're going to be shaking the jar, so you need to make sure that the jar lid is on really, really tight. If not, you're going to get wet. So I'm going to hold the jar and I'm going to give it a bit of shake because we want to mix all the soil into the water. And you think you've shaken it enough, give it another shake. And then give it another shake. And maybe another shake. And another shake. And another shake. And then if you think you've shaken it just about enough, give it a little one for good luck. And it's all mixed up like a big black sludge. Isn't that right, Louie? So you want to be placing your jar in a place where it's not going to be moved for at least a couple of hours, but a day is best. I'm going to leave mine on the table here. And I did one last night to show you what it would look like today. So this has been left for quite a few hours overnight. Hey, yeah. And then this one is all settled out. I think you can see here that all the heavier stuff is settled first. So these are all the sands. Then I've got some silt. And then there's another layer which is organic matter, and you can see some floating up there as well. So organic matter can be leaves or bits of flour, or they could be some bugs or even some seeds, and they will all be on the top because they're the lightest layer. So everything heavy will settle first, so they'll be like your stone and your clays, then your sands will settle, and then you'll have a layer of silt and then fine silt, and the organic matter will be laying on the top. Now you can do a rough percentage of which one is in each. So mine for that one is about 30% sand and about 50% silts, and then there's about 20% in there of organic matter. So that's not very good for that, but that came from the grass patch that's out the front of the house. so that's not too bad. We don't want to grow anything in there. Okay, good boy. I'm hoping that the one that I've just done is going to have a little bit more of a loam in it, so that'll be more of the organic material, as that helps to bulk out the soil. And as you saw to begin with, that meant that there was gaps in there so that water can flow through, or the air is in there, which is really good because the roots can get through the soil a lot easier. Now if you've got soil like in the big jar that's already settled, do you want to go back in your cage? You're going to have to wait a moment, please. Just wait a moment. Good boy. So if you've got a soil that's like in this jar, if I wanted to grow stuff in that, I would have to add something, and that's called an ameliorant, which could be like wood chip or some compost, maybe some horse manure, things like that, which will help to add nutrients but also add space into the soil, meaning that the plants would be able to grow in there easier. That would also mean that the water wouldn't sink straight through, because how that is in that jar, the water's just going to run straight through and the plants aren't going to be able to take anything up. So that's the soil test. I wanted to make things a little bit more interesting for you, so after doing the soil test, which you don't really get to see much for a little while, sort of a couple of hours like I said, I thought we'd just check in and see how some of our other makes are doing. So this is our first make from Saturday. My little grass head, he's got a couple of little eyebrows come in. He's also got a chin hair. He's been sat in a lovely warm sunny spot and kept watered. And I also thought we could have a little cheeky look at our pressed flower card. So I've opened it up. I'm going to take the kitchen roll off. Wow, that's worked really well so far. Look at that. The lovely yellow poppy has gone really flat. It's not sticking out at all. And the Centranthus or the Valerian's gone really nice. That feels really velvety. So I'm going to leave that for another couple of days being pressed, and then I'll be able to send it to a friend. So last things last again, guys. Tidying up, washing our hands, and keep smiling. I'll see you again tomorrow.